जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, श्रेय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, श्री Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So, all glories to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who made this bhakti so accessible to everyone, which was so difficult to obtain in previous yugas. So three aspects in bhakti described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we learn from the examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita. First is overcoming resistance in bhakti. Second one is offering assistance to Lord and his devotees. And third one is obtaining persistence in bhakti. Means bhakti में जो भी हमारे प्रतिरोध आते हैं, मुश्किलें आती हैं, भक्ति का पालन करते हुए उस पर काबू करना। दूसरा, भगवान और उनके भक्तों को सहायता प्रदान करना। तीसरा, स्थिरता, भक्ति में दृढ़ता या स्थिरता प्राप्त करना। तो should I speak in English or Hindi?
Any language is fine, Prabhuji, as per your preference.
Because sometimes Hindi is difficult, I know. So पहला जो aspect है of overcoming resistance in bhakti, offering is that is like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Jagannath Gadadhar Pandit to have a kshetra sannyas and worship Gopinath. So when Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Bengal, so Gadadhar Pandit, he said he wanted to go with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you should stay here and serve Gopinath. And it's in Madhya Leela chapter 16. So Gadadhar Pandit said, Prabhu kahe iha kar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prabhu kahe iha kar Gopinath sevan. Pandit kahe koti seva tatpad darshan. But Gadadhar Pandit said, if I go with you, just seeing your lotus feet, I will serve Gopinath million times more. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prabhu kahe seva chhadi be ame lage dosh. Iha rahi seva kar amare santosh. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if a servant disobeys, then the master gets blamed. So I want you to stay here and do the seva. My satisfaction is that you stay here. Now Gadadhar Pandit thinks out of the box, and he said, you do one thing, you leave, and then I will join you later on. I will join you in Bengal. I'll come from other path. I'll leave on the other date and time. I'll join the other path. I will take the another route. So this way, there's no blame will come on you that you took me along with you. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected this desire of Gadadhar Pandit. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said a devotee has two very essential properties. He says, Amar sange rahite chaha vashani jasukha tomar dui dharma yaya amar haya dukha. If you leave your two assets, two dharma, that will give a lot of pain to me. Amar haya dukha. Tomar dui dharma yaya. You have two dharma to follow. If you give up that, this will give a great pain to me. What are the two assets or two dharma a devotee has to follow? His vow, second his service. When a devotee gives up his vow and his service, then nothing remains. Okay? But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Prabhu lagi dharma karma chhade bhaktagan, bhakta dharma haya Prabhu na haya sahan. Prabhu lage dharma karma chhade bhaktagan. To satisfy Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to be with him, to serve him, the devotees are ready to sacrifice all dharma karma. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't want it. He didn't want devotee should leave his dharma. So Chaitanya Charitamrita taught us the character of the soul in immortality, the how soul behaves in the spiritual world. But right now, the soul, we are trapped in this material world. So we have this natural tendency to deny, offend, and create obstacles in the plan of the Lord. We rebel actually, we don't follow. That's the nature of the soul in this material world. We like to rebel. That's why, just hold on, getting a call. Sorry, one devotee was asking the link to join. You can hear me, right? Okay. So, as I said, that we are naturally inclined to rebel. Okay, we don't follow. We don't follow the path given by the Lord. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us that progress in bhakti is only possible by Vaishnava Seva. Okay. Therefore, we should follow the instructions of the Vaishnavas so that we can overcome the resistance in bhakti. Okay. See, Lord has a plan. For example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this movement will go for 10,000 years. So Lord has a plan. This will go on. No one can stop it. No one can stop it. So, but we should follow it. That's the only thing we can do it. We can take part in this plan. Even if you rebel to do anything, the Lord's plan is not going to change. Okay. So in Bhāgavatam, there is a verse in the 5th canto. It says there are three main causes for the soul to get entrapped in this world. Three main causes. He says, Dustarka mulo apato aviveka. Nahi adbhutam to charnambujam renubhir hatamsho bhaktir adhokshaje amla mohauritidak yasya samagacham chame dustarka mulo apato aviveka. This is dustarka, false arguments. False argument. Then apato, false prestige, aviveka, lack of discrimination. False argument, lack of discrimination, and false pride. These three things, they keep us trapped in this material world. So, if we give up these three things, these are the basically main three resistance, because we always have own agenda, right? Lord has his own plan. We have our own plan. We have our own plan because of, we have our own false pride. We don't have that buddhi to discriminate. And then we argue. We argue with the Lord, we argue with the devotees. No, ye nahi ho sakta, aise nahi hoga, aise hoga, this will not happen that way, this way, blah, blah, blah. So, but what is the, Bhagavatam says in the same verse, what is the way out of these three things? He says, Nahi adbhutam tva charnam renubhir. Association. He says that devotees that take the charna renu, when you take the dust from the lotus feet of those devotees, from the pure devotees, hatamsho bhaktir adokshaje amala, those who are engaged in the bhakti of those adokshaja, of the Lord, when you take the dust from the lotus feet of those devotees, you can overcome these three things. Okay. So association of devotees helps us to fulfill the will of the Lord. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing, unless one overcomes the resistance with his own plan, means we should overcome the resistance to follow God's plan. Otherwise, there is no way out. Okay. if you want to go back to Godhead. Like one of the classes I was telling that, if I speak in any language, French or Russian or anything right now, you may not understand what I'm saying. But when you have interpreter, a translator, then he can explain. Same way, God has a plan. We may not understand, but the devotees, the pure devotees are there who can translate the plan of the Lord in a simple language and tell to us, okay, this is the plan of the Lord. Please try to follow. So we should try to follow. We should not argue. We should not have rebellious nature. We should not have false prestige or lack of discrimination to follow the instruction of the Lord. So, so this is a so Bhaktivinoda Thakur says progress in bhakti depends on 4 types of attitude. Manodrashti, 4 types of attitude. First, seeing good qualities in others. Always see good qualities in others. Second, have a faith that no one is eternally damned or fallen. No one is like that. We cannot reform. He's eternally a demon. Not like that. Third, learn to see Krishna's hand in everything. Ultimately, everything happens by Krishna's will. And fourth, always have a faith that something positive is there. Whatever happened, Krishna has something positive for me in this. Try to see positivity. So when you have this kind of attitude, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, then you can overcome the resistance in bhakti. Okay? You know what is the difference between austerity and higher taste? Austerity means when you give up sense gratification grudgingly, and higher taste means when you give up sense gratification willingly. जब तपस्या करते हैं हम, sometimes क्या है, why you had to give up this and that, don't eat this, don't do this, don't do this, why so many rules and regulations? That is austerity. You have to follow some rules. But when you say, oh, that's okay, for the Lord pleasure I can do anything, that is higher taste. Okay. So so resistance, and this resistance to follow Lord's plan or to follow the instructions of the devotees is due to lack of higher taste. Right? So when you have more higher taste in bhakti, then you are ready to overcome resistance like this. Okay? So therefore, the first stage to progress in bhakti is to overcome the resistance you face in bhakti. Okay? Simply follow the instructions of the Lord through his devotees. If you follow that, you'll overcome resistance. Okay? The second is, not only we have to overcome resistance, we have to offer assistance. How to offer your assistance to the devotees and the Lord. Okay? So now, in this example, we take example of Nityam Prabhu. So Nityam Prabhu was Jagannath Puri. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Nityam Prabhu that I have one request to make. That you come every year, you come to Jagannath Puri, and I want, now you should not come to Jagannath Puri. Please stay in Bengal and preach in Bengal. Now Prabhupada writes in purport, और Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sending him away. क्या उनको दूर भेज रहे थे? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sending him away that, okay, you don't have to be with me. But understand one thing, that when you sacrifice your comfort for the will of the Lord, then there is always a greater fortune waiting for you. So when you give up the comfort for the Lord, then the great fortune is waiting for you. See, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay? But even when he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he needs assistance. He said, Nityam Prabhu, he said, my problem is I preach to class. I had some restriction as a sannyasi, but you can go anywhere, preach. You can preach to anyone. So I want you to preach in Bengal vigorously. I need help. Okay. Now in Goloka, there are five types of sakhis actually. So the inner circle, the 8 gopis, they're called Parama Preshta Sakhi. Then comes Priya Sakhi. There's 64 Priya Sakhi. And then comes Prana Sakhi. Then the fourth one is Nitya Sakhis. And the fifth one is normal Sakhis. Now in this whole batch of Sakhis, some are Krishna Snehadika, those who love Krishna more. Some are Radhika Snehadika, who loves Radharani more. And some are like they love both and Radha and Krishna. But in this particular, this 5 types of categories of Sakhis, there's the third one, which is called Prana Sakhi, very important. These gopis or Sakhis, they have only one thing. They want pleasure of Srimati Radharani. Nothing else. How to make Radharani happy and bring Krishna and Radharani together. They are very determined to follow this thing. First thing, they're very determined. Second, they are very detached. They're least bothered whether Krishna is giving attention to them. They want to see Krishna, they want to meet Krishna, they want to be with Krishna. No problem. They are least bothered about it. They are so totally detached. They are not worrying about their own pleasure. They simply want to assist Radharani and they want to make Radharani happy. So this kind of mood is called Radha Dasyam. Okay. This kind of mood is called Radha Dasyam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute this mood, means service without any selfish motive, without any personal agenda. When you serve, that is called Radha Dasyam. And this kind of mood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us, which this Prana Sakhis have. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mahavadanya. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani, and he's assisted by Goswamis who are actually Manjaris to spread this Krishna consciousness. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh Nityam Prabhu, I don't see any other better option. You are the only one who can make this happen, who can make all Bengal into Krishna conscious." ताहा सिद्धि करे है ना अन्य ना देखिए आमार दुष्कर्म कर्म तोमा हित हइये. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, only you can perform a task that even I cannot do. But for you, I cannot find anyone in Gaudadesha who can fulfill my mission there. Gaudadesha means Bengal. I don't see anyone else. Now, Prabhupada writes, this is Madhya Leela 16th chapter. Prabhupada writes wonderful purport. He says, by the grace of Vishnu, Vaishnava can done better services than Vishnu himself. When we are tiny jivas, but when we get the mercy of the Lord, we can do greater things than God. Like Hanuman or Arjuna, they did great things by the mercy of the Lord. Okay. Therefore, Prabhupada writes in the purport, he says, this is the power of Guru Parampara. When we assist, then most impossible things become possible. When we assist, simply offer our assistance in Lord's plan. So, and Krishna beauty is that he gives credit to his devotees. That is Krishna's beauty. He never takes credit. He gives credit. He gave credit to Arjuna. He gave credit to Hanuman. So Prabhupada writes there, everything is happening by the will of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this mission. And it depends on how much credit you want to take. He's ready to give credit, but it's up to you whether you want to take it or not. So Nityananda kahe ami deha tumi pran, deha pran bhinna nahe eita praman. Nityan Prabhu said, "Oh Lord, you are the life and I am the body. There's no difference between the body and the soul, but life is more important than the body, but the soul is more important than the body." So this is the will of Vaishnavas actually animate us. Our animation should be done through will of Vaishnavas. See, Jivatma is very insignificant. Then how Jivatma can do impossible things? When Jiva agrees to follow the instruction of the Lord, he becomes simply the instrument, and third, he considers himself very insignificant. Three things. When Jiva understands he's very insignificant, second, he simply becomes the instrument, and third, he simply follows the instruction of the Lord and his devotees. Then what happens? Even the insignificant Jiva can do impossible things. We can see the example of Prabhupada, right? We have so many examples. Even after Prabhupada, the way movement expanded from 108 temples to more than 700 temples, in this span of 50 years, 40 years, 50 years, whatever, we can see that. That's only because of, these three things. You can see Prabhupada took 40 rupees and made an empire. And and Prabhupada has many qualities. The six qualities which made this movement work like wonder. First, he always appreciated devotees. He recognized excellence and gave credit. Third, he was very enthusiastic. Fourth, Prabhupada was very humble. Fifth, he gave creative freedom to the devotees. And the sixth, he was very tolerant. When devotee did mistake, he tolerated. For example, in Vrindavan, the devotees were doing yajna. They just learned it and they were doing yajnas. So the local brahmanas had told Prabhupada they are not chanting Vedic mantras properly. They should chant it properly. So Prabhupada said, don't worry, they are now just practicing. They will get better later on. So Prabhupada encouraged, indirectly. They're just practicing, nothing to worry. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says, he used to go to Govind Dev temple. He says there are so many wonderful Vaishnavas who are serving Govind Dev Ji so wonderfully. And amongst them, there was Pandit Haridas. He was a great personality and is filled with Vaishnava qualities. And the best part is, Vaishnavera guna grahi na dekhiya dosh, kaya mana vakya kare Vaishnava santosh. He said he doesn't see any fault in any Vaishnava. That's the best quality he has, Pandit Haridas. And why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning about Pandit Haridas in Chaitanya Charitamrita? He says, because this Pandit Haridas instructed me to write the remaining pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who Vrindavan Das Thakur could not complete. Now try to understand. The first book on Chaitanya Leela was written by Lochan Das Thakur called Chaitanya Mangala. Then second book written by Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is Vyasadeva himself. He wrote a book called Chaitanya Bhāgavat. Okay. But as Vrindavan Das Thakur lived in Mamagachi, which is the part of Navadvip, he was son of Narayani Devi. So he stayed in Navadvip all his life. So that's why if you read Chaitanya Bhāgavat, you will see the Adi Leela is in too much detail. Means whatever time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent in Navadvip, that has in depth. Okay. But when Raghunath Das Goswami came to Vrindavan, after Mahaprabhu left. So Raghunath Das Goswami used to give class every day on Chaitanya's Mahaprabhu pastime in Jagannath Puri, which is actually Antalila. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami used to sit in that assembly to hear and make notes. So that is why in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Antalila is in depth, in too much detail. Okay. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is thinking, and also other Vaishnava, he mentions that other Vaishnava also told him to do the same. And he was thinking, I'm very old. What should I do? How should I do it? When we are given any service, we think, "Aye, mujhe kyun seva de di itni?" But why I've been given so much seva? But here, uh, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami thinking, how can I do this seva? At this such a age, he was almost 90 years old. He was not able to hear properly. He can't see properly. At this age, how am I going to do it? So that's why he went to Madan Gopal temple, which is Madan Mohan temple. Okay. He says, वैष्णवेराज्ञा पाया चिंतित अंतरे मदन गोपाले गेला आज्ञा मागी bare. So when he received the order from Vaishnavas, he was very chintit. He has a lot of chinta. So he said, I went to the temple of Madan Mohan in Vrindavan to ask his permission. He went to take his permission. And then Madan Mohan ordered him that you should write. And in Radha Kund, there is a place where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami sat and he wrote marvelous poetry called Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, wonderful. It's like a nectar, so sweet. So he went to take blessings of Madan Mohan so that he thought, I can do some justice to the service Vrindavandas Thakur already did. He wrote such a beautiful book, so I should be able to do some justice. So understand one thing, following the word of the Lord or Lord's instruction is difficult, no doubt. But sometimes following the instruction of Vaishnava is more difficult than following the Lord's instruction. It's easy to serve Krishna, but it's difficult to serve devotees. So I have personal experience that, like, for example, when you're serving Krishna in the temple, he's not making any demands, He doesn't give you his daily menu, mujhe ye chahiye, I need this, I need that. So whatever way you're serving him, he's accepting it. So, but I was good fortune to serve many sannyasis. So when you serve a sannyasi, when you ask Maharaj, how can I serve you? So they also have, big things. Sometimes, they ask you to do something impossible. They need something, which is very difficult to obtain. So the thing is that sometimes it's difficult to satisfy devotees and to Krishna. So example is there that the one time the Prabhupada, he wanted to make one devotee president of a temple. So he came to know that. So he wrote down all the arguments that I'll do these arguments with Prabhupada, why I can't be president of the temple. So he went. Prabhupada called him, he paid his obeisances, he was ready with this argument, and Prabhupada said, I have one service for you. He was ready. Koi baat nahi. Prabhupada will ask me some seva. I immediately, uh, he was ready with his argument. And Prabhupada said, take sannyas. I want you to take sannyas. And he was shocked. And he was not prepared with this kind of service. Prabhupada, I just got married. Prabhupada, so what? I have a small son. Krishna will take care. Prabhupada, what about this and that? Have faith on Krishna. Prabhupada is telling this. Then he said, Prabhupada, I'll do anything else other than taking sannyas. Then Prabhupada said, become a president of that temple. So it's very difficult to understand, Krishna. devotees plan. It's difficult to serve them also. So we should be ready to assist. That's why we should be ready to assist Krishna and his devotees. And whatever it takes to progress in bhakti, we should be able to follow that. So there's a beautiful verse in Nectar instruction. Atyahara prayasyasya prajalpo niyamagraha. To progress in bhakti, one should give up these 6 things, especially prajalpa. One should give up prajalpa. There are 8 kinds of prajalpa. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there are 8 kinds of prajalpa. हम तो एक वर्ड बोलते हैं ना प्रजल्प है. But there are 8 kinds of prajalpa. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that he says first is useless talks, means spending time with materialistic people. Second, arguments. When you do argument, you simply waste mind strength and increase restlessness of the mind. If you want to get into argument, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, get into the commentary of Acharyas. Read commentaries of Acharyas. They actually give arguments. What if is like that? What if is like that? So, if you have the argumentative mentality, it's better you use that mentality in reading, commentaries of Acharyas. So, third one is gossip. Gossip means you try to establish your own reputation. Fourth is debate. Fifth one is fault finding. Because when you do fault finding, you try to impose your own bad habits on the other person. Sixth, falsehood. Seventh is worldly talk. And the eighth one is finally blasphemy. So the 8 kind of prajalpa one should avoid. Okay. Then mind can follow the instructions of Lord and Vaishnavas and be able to assist them. So once you assist the Lord, you overcome the resistance, you offer assistance, then come persistence, which is called steadiness in bhakti. So here we take example of Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to leave everything and join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone knows the story. It was so difficult for him. Many times he ran from the house. He was always caught. So when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once, at that time he was married and everything, he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, Rakshake rahai temui kemo ne choti ba, kema ne prabhura sange nila chalayaba. He said, how shall I be able to get free from the hands of these watchmen? How shall I be able to go with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Nilachal? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was omniscient. He could understand Raghunatha's mind. And then Lord, he said, Sarvagya Gauranga Prabhu Jai Tar Man Shiksha Rupe Kahe Tar Ashwasa Vachan. Then he says, Sthir Haiya Ghare Yao Nahao Vatula Krame Krame Paya Loka Bhava Sindhu Kula. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, be patient and return home. Don't be a crazy fellow. By Krishna's will, you'll be able to cross the ocean of material existence. Now, Rupa Goswami says 3 things in bhakti. Utsaha, Nishchay, Dharya. You need 3 things. Utsaha, Nishchay, and Dharya. If you simply have Utsaha, only Utsaha, then you're touched by mode of passion. You're influenced by mode of passion. If you simply have Dharya, then you are influenced by mode of ignorance. That is why the Nishchay, determination, persistence should be like a sandwich. Okay? Because Nishchay is mode of goodness. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Antaranishta kar bahe loka vyavahar, achi rata Krishna tomaye karibe uddhar. Within your heart, you should keep yourself very faithful. But externally, you may behave like an ordinary man. Thus, Krishna will soon be very pleased and deliver you from the clutches of Maya. My God, this is like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you will see me in my, you'll see me, Krishna, you will eventually come to me. Don't worry. You simply do this. Now Raghunathas Goswami are getting another, it's difficult, how this possible, right? I'm trying to run from home, but I'm not able to do it. But how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying that, and when this will happen? Agla question aata na, now you telling me this will happen one day, but when? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Vrindavan dekhi abe ashi ba nila chale, tabe tumi ama pase ashi kona chale. You may see me at Nilachal Jagannath Puri when I return after visiting Vrindavan. By that time, you can think of some trick to escape. Now, Raghunath Das Goswami, sometimes our situations are so disturbing, so depressing, so hopeless that it's very difficult to think about hopeful future. The present is such depressing, hopeless that how this is possible? How will this happen? I don't understand. But if you simply follow the instruction, the things will happen. He said, Se chala se kale Krishna spurbe tomar Krishna kripa yaye tare ke rakhite pare. He says, what kind of means you will have to use at the time will be revealed by Krishna. If one has Krishna mercy, no one can check him. When the right time will come, Krishna will make the plan for you. Don't worry about it. Then later on, as you know that when Nityananda Prabhu came to Panihati and Raghunath Das Goswami got the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu, and finally he was able to run from home and directly met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only because he served Vaishnavas. He got their blessings, and that blessings of Vaishnavas gave Raghunath Das Goswami the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he assisted. He served Vaishnavas. He assisted in their mission. He assisted Nityananda Prabhu. So, the reason for his persistence, though he was living in the house with all kind of opulence and so much money, and his parents were against his bhakti and everything, but how he was able to have this persistence in bhakti, because he was constantly meditating on the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and taking the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, trying to follow it and waiting for the right time to come. He was following instruction with utsaha, keeping dharya, but he was determined that day will come. So if you're looking for persistence in bhakti, determination, then one should follow 5 things. One should not aspire for happiness. One should not regret in distress. Third, be satisfied with one's position. Fourth, follow devotional service with enthusiasm. Fifth, tolerate happiness in distress while doing bhakti. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us how to overcome resistance by the example of Gadadhar Pandit, how to assist by example of Nityananda Prabhu, and how to persist with the help of Raghunath Das Goswami. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us which no one can give us before. That is called Krishna Prema. No incarnation has ever given this thing which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. Krishna Prema. Patra na dekhiya. Doesn't matter who is qualified, who's not qualified. He has given this nectar, this Krishna Prema to everyone. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to kill the sinful mentality of people. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never killed anyone. You know that? One time only he took out his Sudarshan to kill Jagai Madai, but that Nityananda Prabhu stopped him. But He never killed anyone. But in previous incarnation, he killed many. Like in Ramayana, when Lord Ramchandra was in Dandakaranya forest, when Ram, Sita, Lakshman was there, so they saw piles of bones. So Sita and Lord Ram, Sita asked, "What is this?" So sages replied, "These are the bones of the sages." Because a lot of demon comes, they kill sages, they eat sages, and they have created these piles of bones. Lord Ram got very angry. He took his arrow and put it on the bow, and he started screaming and shouting, "I will kill all these demons from this face of earth, and I will re-establish dharma. Where are they?" So Sita Devi got a little frightened. She said, "I don't like when you become violent. Whenever you touch your bow and arrow, your expressions changes. So my request is to that I don't want you to do this killing thing because I don't want to see you in that mood." So Lord Ram replied, he said, "Next time when I'll come, I'll not use any weapon. I'll not use any weapon." So when Krishna came, Krishna never used any weapon to kill a demon. Kansa was sending different toys. There's a duty of mama to send toys to the bhanja. What is the duty of child to break the toys? That's the dharma of the child. So Kansa was sending every day, so many demons was going to Braj, and Krishna killed every demon. And there's a beautiful Swayam Bhāgavat Ashtakam by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. In that Ashtakam, Vishwanath Chakravarti writes that how Krishna used every limb of his transcendental body to kill the demons. And Radharani was not happy. Radharani, he reminded Krishna of his promise. He said, "You promised me that you'll not kill anyone. Why are you killing?" Krishna said, "No, no, no. I didn't say that I will not kill. I said I will not use any weapon. I didn't say that I will not kill. See, I didn't use any weapon to kill these guys." But Radharani was still not happy. So Radharani understood, unless and until I enter into his heart, and when his heart will be overwhelmed with mercy, with that bhav, then only he will stop killing. So then that when Krishna took the bhav of Radharani, and that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no more killing. All he has killed is the sinful propensity of the Jivatma. He didn't kill the sinner. He killed the sinful propensity, sinful desires. So Krishna is Akhil Rasamrita Murti. Krishna can never be alone. So that's why he expanded himself into so many, gopas. He expanded into ultimately Jivatma so that the rasa can be exchanged. Okay. When we say play, the word play means in a group. Okay. Play means when you play with others, then you enjoy more. But anyways, modern Kalyug is that they gave you smartphone to play alone. But still, उसमें भी होता है. Like you're playing virtually with, online. You're playing online with someone. So if you're playing alone, uh, it's not that enjoyable compared to playing with others. So Krishna exchange rasa with his devotees, okay, with us as a Jivatma also. Like we can serve Krishna in five rasas, okay. You know that about rasas, Vatsalya, Dasya, Sakhya, Madhurya. We can serve Krishna in different rasas. But now, when that rasa or love become deeper, when it becomes deeper, like when you are with the beloved or when you're not with the beloved, which way rasa is deeper? For example, you have smartphone, okay. You have your love for smartphone as always see in your pocket, you keep on checking WhatsApp. That's you taking prasad, you're in the line of prasad, and the prasad being served, and you realize, you check your pockets and there's no smartphone. Oh, kahan gaya, kahan gaya? Where is my phone? Where is my phone? At that time, you become so focused, thinking, where I kept my phone? Where is that? You don't see prasad, you don't see people around you, you don't listen to them. You just simply focus to find out your phone because you're so attached to it. That means in separation, in viraha, you become more focused doing something. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. That when you in Vipralamba, when you're in the feeling of separation, then bhakti becomes more intense. Huh? You become more focused. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. And we should be grateful to Srila Prabhupada, because through him only Abhi, we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. How? Otherwise, you could be lying somewhere in Bengal, okay, in Bengali. And those few people who actually, devotees in Bengal might be studying Chaitanya Charitamrita and all that. And when Prabhupada was, you know, translated Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada told his devotees, I need this in 2 months, all the 9 volumes in 2 months. And they said, Prabhupada, is impossible. Prabhupada said, impossible is a word for fools dictionary. Impossible is a word in fool's dictionary. So they requested Prabhupada that you please stay with us then, because we need some guidance. So Prabhupada stayed 2 months over there. So they were working in shifts, they were in the one big hall. They were working on it. And they were taking nap, like 1 hour nap. Usne ek ghanta so liya, he's sleeping for 1 hour in between. There are five devotees working in one canvas. That's why when you see Chaitanya Charitamrita paintings, you see some paintings are little odd. Odd in the sense that, they don't match with the background, or the characters are not matching with each other. They're a little different. Mahaprabhu looks a little different, and because on one canvas there are 5, 6 devotees working. One is making background, one is making Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one is making other devotee, one is making this and that. This way the work was happening. At that time, it's not that you simply type the book, you make a PDF, give a command, and it's get printed. At that time, you had to take one letter, and you have to, put those letter and then make a sentence. And this way you make one page by placing one letter on it. And then you print it like that. It's like a screen printing. Because I was in BBT, I was into actually in the production of books. So I know even for one project to do it, like this, you see this 9 volumes, 7 volumes of Prabhupada Leelamrita packed in a box. I did that project. I know how much time it takes to design, to think, and to do typesetting. But 2 months, wow, wonderful. So if you read this chapter in Prabhupada Leelamrita, Sasur Maharaj writes in the end, they didn't change the orders of the spiritual master, but they have changed their lives accordingly. Right? So we are very thankful to Srila Prabhupada, who gave us such a sweet book, Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you know Bengali, you will love it. If you know Bengali, you'll love it. Just keep on reading like a poetry. Beautiful. What a devotee is, how, amazing book. So we all thankful. Somewhere we are fortunate that we came in touch with Prabhupada books in this moment. We are in this Kali Yuga when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. Okay, so take advantage of it and get out of this material world. Don't come back again. You never know when this golden time will come again. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. If anyone has a question or any comments, please let me know. And Manpu, it's come hello. What happened?
Ji Prabhuji.
At strength come actually some of my group people, those who are Hindi actually, they are Hindi class people. I think they came and they dropped. because of speaking in English.
ओके ओके, अच्छा। हाँ, स्ट्रेंथ आज कम है प्रभु जी, आज पता नहीं शायद ठंड ज्यादा है।
हाँ, ठंड बढ़ गई ना धीरे धीरे. People are not used to of the cold. When I got cold last night. Actually, from last 1 week, I'm suffering from the cold. You know, sometimes goes up, sometimes goes down. Yeah. Any question?
हरे कृष्णा। तो किसी भक्त का कोई प्रश्न है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं। यू कैन अनम्यूट योर माइक और यू कैन टाइप इन द कमेंट बॉक्स।
आप हिंदी में भी पूछ सकते हैं क्वेश्चन, नो प्रॉब्लम.
हरे कृष्ण भाभी, दंडवत प्रणाम। रोहित सूद।
यस रोहित ब्रो.
प्रभु जी, एक क्वेश्चन था। जब हम किसी एसोसिएशन में जाते हैं
हाँ
तो वहां पे कुछ लोग अपने पर्सनल नेम एंड फेम के लिए
हाँ.
सर्विस करते हैं, तो हमें क्या उस एसोसिएशन में ज्वाइन करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए?
You see, in the beginning when people come to temple, you know, they जब आते हैं स्टार्टिंग में मंदिर में, everyone has their own agenda. You know, कृष्णा से 4 तरह के लोग मेरे पास आते हैं. चतुर्विधा भजन्ते माम, जना सुकृतनो अर्जुना, आर्तो जिज्ञासु अर्थार्थी. कोई डिस्ट्रेस है इसलिए आ रहा है, कोई परेशान है, किसी को कुछ पैसा चाहिए, भगवान से कुछ चाहिए तो आ रहा है, कोई इसलिए आ रहा है वो ये जानना चाहता हो क्या रहा है यहाँ पे. और चौथा बहुत रेयर है जो जानता है कि कृष्णा इज द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड इसलिए आता है, वो बहुत रेयर है. बट एवरीवन कम्स विद देयर ओन एजेंडा. अपना एजेंडा कुछ होता ही उनका, कुछ मोटिव होता है हर एक का, राइट. सो इन देयर इज अ वर्स इन चैतन्य चरितामृत, आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिमेंबर. चैतन्य महाप्रभु सेज व्हेन समबडी गोज टू कृष्णा, और कृष्ण के पास जाके वो क्या करता है, वो मटेरियल डिजायर, उसकी मटेरियल डिजायर्स है, बट ही इज गॉन टू कृष्णा. तो भगवान कहते हैं वो मूर्ख है बहुत बड़ा. लेकिन स्टिल कृष्णा इज सो मर्सीफुल कि इवेंचुअली क्या करते हैं, उसकी मटेरियल डिजायर हटा देते हैं, क्योंकि वो बीच में टेस्ट दे ही देते हैं अपना. एक ध्रुव महाराज, वो गए तो भगवान को अप्रोच किस एंगल से किया था कि ही वांटेड किंगडम ग्रेटर देन ब्रह्मा. लेकिन भगवान ने क्या किया, उनको प्यूरिफाई कर दिया. वो डिजायर ही खत्म हो गई, तो कुछ नहीं चाहिए मुझे. आई डोंट नीड वरम ना याचे, कुछ नहीं चाहिए. सो कोई बात नहीं, होता है ऐसा कि यू नो इन द बिगिनिंग at the immature state people have ulterior motives. It's okay, but eventually they'll be purified provided they follow the process. Okay, but whatever service they're doing, purification तो होगी और टाइम ज्यादा लगेगा. अगर हम अनजाने में भक्ति कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो अगर हमें कुछ नहीं पता है दुनिया का, we don't know anything about bhakti, still we go with ulterior motives, Krishna purify us. Okay, कई बार हमें पता होता है सब कुछ, ये गलत है ये सही है, फिर भी हम जानबूझ के वैसा कर रहे हैं, फिर टाइम लगता है. फिर टाइम
अगर
लगता है.
जानबूझकर करें प्रभु जी, एट दैट टाइम कृष्णा विल गिव अस पनिशमेंट और नॉट?
पनिशमेंट, भगवान क्रूअल तो नहीं है, बट यस जो चीज मिलनी चाहिए फिर वो नहीं मिलेगी.
जी प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रभु जी।
कृष्ण
दंडवत
भक्त
प्रणाम
वत्सल
प्रभु
है.
जी।
यस, हरे कृष्ण. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
हरे कृष्णा। किसी अन्य भक्त का कोई प्रश्न है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं।
Okay, please read Chaitanya Charitamrita, then you get questions.
तो प्रभु जी वैसे तो कहते हैं कि पहले भगवत गीता पढ़ो, फिर भागवतम, फिर चैतन्य चरितामृत।
यस,
तो अभी तो भागवतम भी नहीं खत्म हुआ।
तो इसीलिए तो कह रहा हूँ खत्म करो उसको, तुम फिर ये पढ़ो. मैं कोई ऑर्डर ब्रेक करने के लिए नहीं कह रहा हूँ. मैं कह रहा हूँ चैतन्य चरितामृत जरूर पढ़ो. इसका मतलब क्या है कि पहले वो भी पढ़ो.
जी प्रभु जी।
Okay, so Saurabh bro, you have anything to say?
No, Prabhuji, one question.
Yeah.
Very generic question. You mentioned about how to overcome resistance in bhakti, and you mentioned about two stages, like austerity That's the lower one actually, because you are doing something, but then you don't like doing it, but you are forcefully doing it. But the
Yeah.
best thing to do is to develop a
Willingly.
higher taste. Yes. So
Willingly.
that service would be spontaneous.
Yeah.
So how to develop that stage?
By doing
Because
austerity in the beginning.
yes, true.
If you do austerity, then gradually you get higher taste, and then you do willingly.
Okay.
Because if you don't follow austerity means some rules and regulation you have to follow. Okay. Even if you take an example of materialistic things, for example, you play cricket. Okay. So in the cricket, there are some rules and regulation. So if you play the cricket by rules and regulation, you will enjoy it. What if imagine that bowler अपनी मर्जी से कुछ भी फेंक रहा है और वो बैट्समैन बॉल हाथ में पकड़ के बाउंड्री पे फेंक रहा है और अंपायर उसको आउट बोल रहा है, कुछ भी चल रहा है, स्टेडियम में कोई कुछ भी कर रहा है अपनी मर्जी से, so you not enjoy this kind of game, right?
Yes.
So when you played with rules and regulation, you enjoy that, create an excitement and everything. Same way, bhakti, in order to get higher taste in bhakti, first we have to do austerities. 4 regulative principles. सुबह जल्दी उठना है, 16 माला करनी है, ये नहीं करना है, वो करना है, यम नियम है, वो सब austerity का पार्ट है. जब इसको आप करते रहेंगे, then gradually you will reach the stage where you get the higher taste. जब higher taste आ जाएगा, फिर फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि आज एकादशी है तो निर्जला करनी है, वो स्पॉन्टेनियस ही हो जाएगी निर्जला. शुरू में तो होता है कि भाई अरे निर्जला, हाय बिना पानी के कैसे रहूंगा मैं. बाद में होता है कोई बात नहीं, भगवान का जप करना है तो क्या टेंशन. तो इट्स बट ऑस्टेरिटी से ही हायर टेस्ट आएगा. डायरेक्टली हायर टेस्ट इट्स मे बी बिकॉज ठीक है आप पिछले जन्म के कुछ उस लेवल के भक्त हो गए, शायद आ जाए, बट अदरवाइज इन माय केस आई नो विदाउट ऑस्टेरिटी नहीं आएगा.
So Proji, so in austerity, I don't like in Vaidhi Bhakti, it is following rules and regulations.
Yes,
Under rules and regulations, we do bhakti.
yeah.
But that what should be the driving force? What could be one factor that can help us perform austerities even in a favorable manner? For example, if I stay alone, if I'm staying alone, it becomes very difficult for me to wake up early in the morning or
Yeah.
chant my rounds in a proper mood. So what
Yeah.
could be one, not just one thing, but multiple things that can help us even perform austerity in a favorable manner?
Just one thing, do. Just do one thing. You don't have to do multiple things to do austerities even in a cheerful mood. Just stay with devotees. When you stay with devotees, सब अपने आप हो जाता है. कहते हैं जब आप कारवां में चलते हो ना तो सफर का पता नहीं चलता. जब एसोसिएशन में रहते हो तो ऑस्टेरिटी कब हो जाती है पता नहीं चलती है, हंसते खेलते हो जाती है. निर्जला एकादशी वाले दिन देखो हम इकट्ठे क्यों रहते हैं. निर्जला एकादशी वाले दिन लास्ट टाइम वी वेंट टू वृंदावन, रिमेंबर?
Yes.
तुम क्यों किया ऐसे? बिकॉज अगर निर्जला एकादशी है और आप अकेले कमरे में बैठ के जब भी कर रहे हो, यू कांट फॉलो इट भाई. तो क्या होगा, आपको प्यास लगेगी, आपका माइंड आपको वो कर सकता है, नो वहां सकता है. जब भक्तों के संग में हो उसको देखोगे, अरे यार वो तो बिना पानी के चल रहा है, या फिर किसी को बोलोगे प्रभु जी थोड़ा दिक्कत हो रही, नहीं प्रभु हो जाएगा, चलो चलो कोई बात नहीं, चलो ये करते हैं. तो ऑलवेज एसोसिएशन में बहुत इजीली हो जाती है, हर चीज इजीली हो जाती है. आई मिस बिकॉज आई नो व्हाट इज एसोसिएशन ऑफ डिवोटीज एंड व्हाट इज विदाउट. लाइफ विद और विदाउट क्या होती है? विद तो बहुत सिंपल है, लाइक भक्ति बिकम्स वेरी सिंपल. ओके,
थैंक यू सो मच.
भक्ति पंत लिख रहे हैं कि हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी अगली बार प्रवचन हिंदी में दीजिएगा, बहुत आनंद आता है. ठीक है, श्योर. कभी कभी इंग्लिश में भी दे देता हूँ. Okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So
So we finish here.
Mayapur, sure, Prabhu, sure. Hare Krishna. So
मायापुर
we'll
का
offer Vaishnava Pranam.
कोई और
जी
क्वेश्चन
प्रभु
है क्या?
मायापुर वासीदास प्रभु जी ने अनम्यूट किया है। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं? ओके, नथिंग प्रभु जी, ऐसे ही उन्होंने किया होगा। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण।
Okay, so we'll offer Vaishnava Pranam and conclude the session. Vancha
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha
वासुदेवाय
patitanam pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की
श्रील
जय।
प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
जय जय।
निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदी।
हरे
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Wish you a happy Ekadashi all.